welcome back to F1 Manager 24 at the tail end of the 2026 season. 2 episodes to go. New patches come in. We won't really see much of it, I don't think, until next season. If there's any late driver moves, I suppose we might get them announced in the news. That's about it. There is one thing, of course, that will come into race weekends themselves, and that's pit lane starts. We won't be able to get away with what we did last episode. And apologies for the gap. I got absolutely mugged off. Waited through my entire recording possibility window for something that never happened. One of those things. What it does mean, though, is it does quite neatly wrap up this season in 2 episodes this week. So we will start the next season next week. And we'll still be able to do the driver reveal thing, because actually I don't know anything. I haven't looked behind the hood. I haven't obviously had to look for any drivers because I went straight for Lando Norris. And that's already sorted. So I've not had to look and scout people and accidentally spoil myself. So we'll be able to do that in full in a week's time. But today is the Brazilian Grand Prix sprint weekend, which is always chaotic as it is in real life, as we saw a few weeks ago. And then we get caught up to real life with the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which is happening the weekend I'm recording this. So, and then on Thursday, you'll see maybe Bahrain, but definitely Qatar and Abu Dhabi, none of which are sprints. Nothing's happened in the couple of days since I saw you last, so I will see you straight away for Sao Paulo. Oh, they fixed this, by the way, which might be a problem. We're still first in most things. Slipped back on a couple, which means people are still developing cars this late in the season, which obviously shouldn't really be a thing, but Brazil was still quite good and the USA was still quite good. Qatar, though, Abu Dhabi still kind of, Actually, that's a point. If they fix this, they've not fixed this. Thank God that might have been based on the start of the season. I'll take every penny I can get at this stage now. Thank you very much. I don't know how successful I've been, but I've tried to time one run at SQ1 to provide minimum traffic problems. So effectively what I'm aiming for is, by the end of this lap, basically everyone who was on an in lap is in. There's a couple of people who just started an out lap, which has obviously put a spanner in this particular works, but we've caught both of them here. Not a massive problem, I don't think. I felt like there was a McLaren, but I can't see it on track anymore. Ah, there it is. That one's more in the way. More likely to be a Zane problem than a Mick problem there, I think, but from here on in, all's fine, no problems whatsoever. Everyone's done basically their lap. No one came out actually close to the end. Although, I feel like they must be going into the pits, the Red Bulls. Only 12th and 15th. It's enough, but considering we were predicted 5th and 6th, I don't know what's going on there. Oh, it could be the traffic, of course. Yeah. Porsche's on a flyer. Obviously, like I say, there was those 3 vehicles that we had to get through originally, which I think is both Haas's. So Mick could be a problem if Porsche hadn't hit all of this traffic. 60 seconds off the pace. I think he had a moment earlier in the session on his original flying run, but I think he's effectively had traffic the entire way. And if I'm not mistaken, Hulkenberg's fighting at one of the Mercedes. I mean, it has to be Hamilton because Russell's registering as done. Oh, Sainz was behind. Was that Sainz? No, that was Porsche. Even though Porsche had all of that traffic, he still went 4th. Mick's in danger. We always get traffic in one of the sprint sessions. Sprints here are just wild, just because, mind you, these two have been fighting. That might have hurt them more than just straight up obstructions. I think Daniel Ricciardo's done in the sprint, not life. But frankly, if he keeps going out in Q1, he might decide to retire at the end of the year. I don't know what the whole thing is. So I don't know what the rosters are for next year, so I don't know what he's doing. It's fun not knowing. All right, once again, same strategy. Last time in SQ2, so I'll just once again wait again. You can see it can cause problems obviously if you have a hindrance, but whilst it's a short lap, Brazil isn't that tyre friendly. So the only way you actually end up doing better laps is if you were properly hindered in the first place. Okay, so a few just gone now, a few more going now, so this feels like the spot. Beautifully worked our way to the front of that particular batch, which might give Leclerc more of a benefit than us, frankly, but at the very least we'll get the slipstream off Zane. I just put their profiles on the sector times thing as if that was going to actually be any relevant whatsoever. There's nothing to compare them against. I think realistically with the mediums I could have run them twice, but you can see they've only just started their flying lap and they're 5% down. So full out lap, flying lap, in lap might be, but it might obviously they take less off them on the out and in. 10% round the final proper corner. Now the 2 banks for the straight. Zane Maloney across the line first. Vesti's actually got himself to 9th. That's the time. Maloney 4th. Mick 6th. That's more like it. Leclerc 7th. Blimey, this is going to be a tight one. Flipping heck. 2 tenths essentially between 1st and 10th. I mean, that's the lap time from Vesti. I mean, he's already finished, I'm pretty certain. Sergeant However might still spring a surprise. Only in the sense that he was actually quite close to getting in, but not quite enough. That's more like it. So untraffic hindered, we do have the pace. That's just Valtteri Bottas in 3rd. With the softs, we definitely go 1 to the end. It's only 8 minutes on the clock to begin with. There's enough to go and come back in again, but Leclerc's going to be the bottle, so even if people are going to come out after us, we have to make sure we get across that line before Leclerc catches us. So probably had a little bit more wiggle room. Not a huge amount, actually. They did still catch Sainz and might still catch Bottas. So Leclerc, who is 8th of the 8 that did a time, has caught Sainz. I don't know if Bottas will get going in time. I think he has because he's not registering his outlap. So I think the outlap trigger is quite early. So actually Leclerc might get a slipstream off Bottas instead of having to go past him, which good for him, I suppose. Towards the line he comes, first of the lap times. Only shaves the 10th of his time. He's still last of the ones that have done times. Considering Sainz is the second one, there must be Lance Stroll, who is now, or was already 5,000th off pole. Oh no, that's Sainz starting a lap. This is Stroll. Verstappen, Porsche. I'd be surprised if anyone improves, considering obviously the tyre situation. It definitely been the same set of tyres for everyone. Like, unless someone had an absolute mare on their original lap, realistically, no one's going to go faster. That's why Leclerc took a bit of time off. Oh, actually, Piastri took a bit of time. Thousandths. But only 5th, Mick. Identical time to Tsunoda, but he did his first. Speaking of which, Tsunoda and Bottas still yet to come, and then Sainz last of all. It's slim margins, but we were, what, predicted 5th and 6th? I think Porsche and Bottas have actually pulled blinders out there, if we're completely honest. Oh, Sainz has done a time, Christ. And frankly, we're usually worse in sprint qualifying than regular qualifying. I don't really know why. Okay. I mean, considering... doesn't appear to be a lot in it, does there? I'm trying to work out what's going to be more useful for the race. I might try it. You've got to go aggressive at the beginning, obviously, so I need to make sure I can save tyres. I might just try this. Then we can run more, like, more soft tyres in for Mick of the race.
24 laps around Sao Paulo in today's sprint. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Both drivers in sprints point-paying positions, we're saying, off the start there, and the Ferraris don't seem that good, whatever reason. No, Maloney's lost his place to Tsunoda. Great work. Fascinating to know what everyone's done here. Maloney's the only soft runner. It's probably... Actually, we did slip to 3rd in the tyre preservation, but obviously one of the top cars in tyre preservation and 100 out of 100 smoothness. Seemingly, he's the only driver who can get away with the soft at all. And yet he was the one who lost a place. Please make it make sense. That's a camera angle and a half. Has to be said, the camera angles for Brazil, sublime. Mick can't keep up. I suppose he is on a medium. So Mick has the Ferraris for company. Zane's going for the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. I was about to say he's not going to make that stick, but he's still on it. He's not giving up just yet. Probably will do now. Inadvertently, actually, that allows Mick to get back in DRS range, so cheers for that. Now he's going to go try around the outside. Tsunoda's getting double teamed here. Zane on the inside, Mick on the outside. Weirdly, I think actually Zane hindered Mick there because he ended up getting in his overtake line. Because Zane gets past Yuki Tsunoda here and then moves across. It kind of prevents Mick from making this move fully a little bit because he can't just sweep around. But Maloney's obviously got a hard-running Bottas now in front of him, who surely goes backwards once they stop pushing. And Porsche is holding a lot of people up now. They've stopped pushing as well. Honestly, I wouldn't much mind just a few random points. We are chasing McLaren, of course, in the Constructors. Red Bull are 100 points ahead of them with 5 races to go, 4 if Bahrain doesn't work. It's effectively settled. Bottas has fallen to roughly a second off, so Maloney's got DRS here, and hopefully that will be unchallenged. Bottas does still have DRS, but ours is excellent. Annoyingly, he caught... Actually, I don't think he did catch. I think Sainz overtook Porsche, and that split the difference. We're going to have to wait for somebody to fall out of DRS range, I think. Oh, VSC. That doesn't really help anyone in any way, shape or form. Ricciardo's out, though. I guess from bad for worse for Daniel Ricciardo, that is Hulkenberg in front of him, who does have damage entirely separately, seemingly. Oh, it's mechanical damage, not aerodynamic. Well, might as well recover during this. Hamilton locks up during the VSC. Okay, that's ending now. Push the field to the end of this now. Or we go standard, actually, with Maloney. I won't go aggressive on him, but Porsche detached from Piastri, Stroll and Sainz. This is a lot of cars trying to go through a small space of turns there. Albon locked up, which I think caused a little bit of... Only in 14th, actually, I think. Oh! No, all the people just jostling for position was entirely separate to Albon going straight off. Still 16th. He didn't actually lose a huge amount, other than possibly tyre wear, I suppose. 17th, because he's now got overtaken. But, okay, so Maloney hounding Bottas, who I think probably still has DRS. That's not how you overtake, Zane. Just want to throw that one out. Oh. Mick's still recovering. He stayed in DRS range, though, hilariously. Oh, Zane, how have you not overtaken there, my friend? Yeah, you need to stop pushing now, Mick, as well. Actually, I didn't even notice you've done the overtake. See, Zane? Take notes. You had soft tyres at the start of this race and you couldn't make that move. And yet Mick, with the same tyre compound as Yuki Tsunoda, just goes yoink. And Zane, despite deploying and on soft tyres, can't keep up with the hard-running Bottas, who does the fastest lap. He had DRS because he's got past you, Zane. I'm going to let Mick through here, Zane. Let Mick show you how it's done. Well, there's Mick in Bottas's gearbox. I say that, he's actually not that close anymore. With DRS, although he's got it before it's even activated, Zane. And come off 2 times. I was waiting for the DRS to activate before I went back on 1 time speed. He's done it before it's even activated. I fired the wrong driver. No, I haven't, obviously. In the grand scheme of things, obviously I haven't. Hang on, the Ferraris are 10th and 11th. Gasly snuck into top 8. Good going from the Audi. Oh, Bottas getting a little bit feisty there. Mick's tyres are very warm. It's just had me concerned a little bit. I'm going to take them both off fuel as well, just to get the temperatures down. Oh, but only actually got Bottas that time. I don't know how or where, but he did. Both had DRS, so I guess Bottas was prepared for the outside overtake and Zane went for the inside. See? He did watch and learn. He's not completely useless. This is going to be interesting for Mick because they went 3 wide. Fired it back in now, but I feel like the tyres are really hot on Mick for whatever reason. I just feel like they're really, really hot. Well done, Zane, for ruining Mick's lap there. Oh, they're not that hot, actually. They're only just in. Mick is fighting Porsche. I don't know who's got DRS here. That's worked out splendidly. Got to repush the fuel. We have separated into 2 fights. It's Mick versus Porsche and Maloney versus Gasly, weirdly. I understand, obviously, his tyres are going, but they're going really badly, actually. They're going worse than the prediction line, essentially. Destroy them on the final lap. Same with you. Gonna need you to defend from Porsche here, mate. Oh, that's it. Get forced off the road. Both works. Oh, nicely done, Mick. I will rewatch that overtake because round the outside is not a move you see very often there. There's no podium. Well, there's no proper podium anyway for Sprint Crofty. Just make sure he has fuel to get to the line. Bottas finished 9th. Piastri wins. Hamilton's last. That Merc is terrible. Why are we not seeing Mick? Of course, Mick's technically got more soft tyres for this as well. There's a punchy, or punchy Aston Martin there. That came out immediately as well, as does Daniel Ricciardo. Really trying to get through without any fuss this time, maybe, and not get knocked out straight away. I feel so sorry for Daniel. I really do. But anyway, let's get these laps under our belt and I'll probably join you at the end of the session. So, Frontier fixed the... I'm going to leave this in. Frontier fixed the cars coming in on a flying lap problem when you're on manual mode. Apparently they fixed it by not making them come in on the actual in-lap either. I'm going to leave it as is because it's funny. We'll get through because we've ruined the rubber. I love it when Frontier fix something and then they just break it in a different way. So now I've got to pay attention to make sure they're coming in rather than to make sure they're not coming in when they shouldn't be. We're going to do the fastest lap here, apart from Sainz, who just decided to ruin it. Oh, because they're retired, I just clicked straight through the actual results. We actually started 13th and 14th despite not actually doing anything. I think Alexander Albon has a pit lane start. I think this is the first ever pit lane start we've seen because he's got a different symbol to everyone else. Okay, so Zane does start 14th. I was marginally tempted to give him a new ERS. Frankly, that's actually quite a lot of positions to get through still. And we've now got a whole bunch of soft tyres, so I'll take it. Ah, both drivers, same strategy apparently. Somehow I don't think so though. Ah, because he doesn't have 2 new mediums, right. I'm just wondering. It is faster to try and stick it out. Bin the 2 medium hards. I think this is the play because then we can decide later on which tyre we actually want. And then we'll play it accordingly. Because he gives him that buffer, he comes in early, he gets a bit of an undercut. Whereas you, I don't think you've got much fuss. You just do what you've been told, essentially. But again, we'll set you coming in early, so you get the undercut. Strategies are weird here.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement.
Starting P12, and probably starting to question what they can get out of this one. How much ground can they make up?
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Who will win? Only time will tell. Here at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So Bottas is on pole. I don't see Albon in this picture, so Albon is waiting, and now he can go. That's fun. Took me away from the actual real world pitch. Mick actually did out-qualify Maloney, worth noting there as well. As Mick gets past Both Ricardo and Hamilton? Has he actually got Hamilton? He's on the outside of him. He has got him. Meanwhile, Maloney has got nobody. That one's got quite the gap to get caught up already. I'm not quite sure they've measured the right point for Albon there. I feel like they may have let him go a little bit too late. I feel like he's a bit too detached, even though he has gained about 2 seconds already. Right, you can push for 1. Maloney does get Ricardo, but Mick's already on Sargent and aiming for a point. And that is a point for Mick Schumacher. He's on the inside. Ricardo has a mechanical fault. Maloney has got Hamilton as well. Keep pushing all the other bits, even though we're taking them off tyres, because we have to. Now Maloney's on the back of Sargent. Were they all on different tyres? Sargent was on a hard tyre, so that was candy from Baby. Meanwhile, Mick will hunt George now. Those mugs are obviously terrible in this world, despite their performance so far this weekend in Las Vegas. In real life, I think Russ is on the verge of detaching from a second. I don't know where the detection point was. I think he might have made it. But Mick's going to get around the outside of him already. And with our excellent DRS, say bye-bye. Then we'll take everything else off. As Maloney gets past Sargent behind as well. Mick has DRS on. Dennis Hauger is in the top 8 as things stand because of all the penalties and nonsense that's happened, I guess. He won't be there by the end of the race, that's for sure. Crucially, though, we're on lap 3 and we're only 5 and 6 seconds off the lead. So it's not an awful situation. I don't think we're going to win a race, actually, between now and the end of the season. But unless shenanigans happen, I think we're probably done for wins. Thank you for those, Zane. Sorry, Mick, I don't think I'm going to be able to engineer you one. Las Vegas can always be a bit of a turn-up. Oh, Hauger's on a hard tyre, actually. This could be painful for him. He's outside a second. This will be bye-bye. I think he blocked off Mick's outside route, actually, there. And now he's shoved him off the track, so that's not great work. We'll get him this time. And he will hold up everyone else, so cheers, Dennis. I think we're going to mandatory see this crash. No, we're not. That was just Sargent returning to the track. Same thing Daniel Ricciardo did, right? That's turn 10. They're not entirely unharmed. They do have damage. As a person, yes. As a car, no. So Verstappen in the top 7 here. Mick's got DRS on him, but he's got DRS as well. Does the Ferrari have a terrible DRS? Because he was not pulling in any way, shape or form close to Gasly. And Mick's absolutely yoinked that off him. Might have been outside of the second for the detection point here, though, which could be a problem. No, he's got it. That should allow him to drive away. Might watch that one again. Oh, I wish it was a better angle. Excellent move. Mick's already up to 7th. This lap 4 or 5. But I think Mick should get Gasly here. Although, actually, Gasly was feisty with Maloney, wasn't he, before? Really hoping Maloney doesn't make Mick think of backwards here. Actually, probably worth. While we're in a train. Gasly got Bottas before we made a move. There's a yellow flag. We saw you spin, tried to rejoin safely. Mick's still ahead of Maloney. It was Sargent who span. Or Cher's turn to fall out of the top now. As Mick gets him in the middle of the turn. Oh, no, actually, no, it was the end of the DRS. Might get Maloney to start recovering fuel while he's behind Cher. Now, we all caught Stroll, actually. Right, so if Mick can use Stroll as a buffer, or Cher gains a mechanical fault and disappears out the way. But if Mick can use Stroll as a buffer to start recovering a bit of fuel, that'd be great. Kind of don't want you to actually attack him. You've attacked him and got past him, actually. Why are we fighting Stroll? What's going on here? Why are we actually competent? Wear race are definitely worse here than advertised. Jesus Christ. They're so much worse than advertised. If they're worse for us, they're going to be worse for everyone else as well. So it's worth noting that. Keep an eye on what everyone else does pit stop wise. Mick still in Stroll's DRS though, surprisingly. So we're just going to have to pay attention to that because it does mean Mick's going to have to go a little bit more conscientious. Someone from the top pitted there, Sainz did, on these mediums. We're going to have to come back in. I think we can go standard for a lap. I think we might be okay to go standard on Zane as well here. We've done well. Mick's still got Stroll. This feels slow. No, 2 seconds. Okay, I just joined it in such a way that made it feel slow for whatever reason. Interestingly, it's not told me to pit Zane. It comes out 11th. That's behind Leclerc, who hasn't pitted. He was on hards to begin with. And Fittipaldi, Djokovic, and Magnussen just sneaks through as well on old mediums. Cheers for that. Kevin, couldn't just stay behind us, could you? All right, so he's got through all of them now, and I might just go on light early on here for Mick, because he's gaining on Leclerc quite easily, and passes him quite easily. Did get the undercar on Stroll. We'll keep an eye on what Maloney does. I think it might be because of overheating in trains more than anything. Stroll gets back through Mick. What's Stroll on, by the way? Hards. A lot of people gone to hards. Oh, Stroll just fastest lap, so he's just disappeared. Mick's kind of hovering around the 2 second mark with Stroll. Not really gaining, not really losing a huge amount. A lot of the front runners who are on different strategies are now pitted as well. Bottas remains. Did Bottas go on to mediums really early? All those original mediums. And he just hasn't come off them. So Mick's in for, after saying he's not going to win, Mick's on for a podium. He actually still exists, like, but otherwise, I mean, Mick's doing a good job fighting with Piastri here. I thought Piastri would go straight through and disappear, which is why I was just letting it happen. But I think actually we're probably all right for fuel now at this stage as well. We can probably come off that and then reconsider at the end of the race. If there's any incidents, he'll shove us right above, and Sargent's actually damaged his rear wing by the looks of things. But we don't need to deal with that anymore. So I imagine Piastri's going to get past here, but then Mick does seem to have enough to get him back every time. Or fend him off in the first place. Did Mick get the DRS there? Was he behind at that detection point? No. That might have been the problem one, because he did get shunted well out of the way. Might just give Mick deploy here. Now he's on par. Yeah, I think now we're out of a train, it's a little bit better. So we're still actually about 2 seconds behind Stroll after all that, even though we're fighting with Piastri. And actually together we've together we've caught Stroll. We've now lost Piastri though, however. I'm going to take Don't Fight off Zane at this stage, because going backwards and forwards with Mick might help cut gaps. It's not really helped cut gaps. We've gone over our pit stop, which is always fun. Have we gone over Zane's as well? No, we haven't. So Mick comes out of those pits 7th. I think it was another decent stop. We'll put him on normal to get on with, but did Zane have a terrible stop to begin with? Because he's just gone from 22nd to 11th in pit stops. Did I miss the original bad stop? So Sainz has already pitted a second time, but nobody in front of us has. And we're now going reasonably quick. Weirdly, Tsunoda's doing 112.2s on 35% mediums. We are 28 seconds behind the leader. Crucially, we might get another undercut on Stroll here, though. Piastri and Stroll do have mechanical issues, but they're not severe. I'm slightly confused what they're doing. The Stroll has to pit now. Actually, Piastri and Gasly might be going to the end. No, actually, Mick, don't fight. So you're conserving your tyres and you're now behind, so that's going to make them warm. Tsunoda pitted and came back through again. Just get that extra bit of fuel that we needed. Right, all good. Deploy Maloney back through Tsunoda, please. Stroll pitted way too late. He's not coming back. So I deploy Maloney and then Mick gets in his DRS. Logic. Well, because he lapped Williams or whatever that is. With DRS, he may have slingshotted into Maloney's DRS there. I see now Maloney's gone for it. And he's going to get DRS of someone else there. A car that he has to lap. I think that's Sargent for the 18th time. Oh no, that's Gasly. That's just normal Gasly. That was a normal overtake. Sorry, I didn't give Gasly the credit he deserves. I think he's run out of hard tyres now, but only done 111.2 there. And has driven away from Gasly, who kept Tsunoda behind. Nowhere near Piastri, though, who's in a similar boat, actually, tyre-wise. Sainz will win this. Sainz has got 4 laps to catch Piastri, who's on very old hards. So Mick's in... Oh no, Mick was in Tsunoda's DRS. He's not anymore. No, Tsunoda. No, Tsunoda. You are not getting close. I deployed my tyre battery in the vain hope that 2.5 seconds would be enough for 3 laps. He's actually now got worse tyres than Zane. I think he was just going for it there. As Mick needs to try and lap this vehicle, and is not moved out the way. What is it with Williams and not getting out of the way? Sainz caught Piastri, final lap. Actually, no, it's penultimate lap. Sainz is going to run away with this. He'll catch on this lap and then he'll disappear. Crucially, Tsunoda's still 2 seconds behind. He's not going to catch. And his tyres will go off because he's on 33 now. So Maloney's on 40 and he's only just about going to make it, I think. Maloney holding on for 3rd is not bad considering where we started. Okay, so Mick has to get through Ricardo, I think it is. Even if he wants to have a shot at Tsunoda right now. He's got reasonably close to Tsunoda. If I deployed him last lap like I should have, he might have got him. Piastri held on. Blimey, that was a fight. Sargent was 4 seconds behind Hulkenberg in the end. 4 minutes, sorry. Maybe we could win another one then. Yuki Tsunoda had a blinder from where he started as well. Up on for the pit lane ends up 15th. And solidifies their respective positions. Tsunoda's coming for the Ferrari drivers though. Oscar Piastri has 406 points. Daniel Ricciardo has 70. What is going on with him this year? I know he's dropped to 79, but even Mick's doing better in a worse car. And he was 79 rated at the start of the year. We only get 1 point on McLaren there. We're actually coming for 2nd. I kind of don't want it, but we are coming for it. Yeah, he had a slow press stop. Wasn't bad, but he had a slow one. There's a couple of weeks before Las Vegas, as Zane actually improves things that he's weak in. Carpentier makes 74 rated. Out of curiosity. Tried and absolutely smashing that with Antonelli and Maney, who are ridiculous drivers. MP Motorsport destroying this one as well. With Taylor Barnard leading. Wait. Our affiliate drivers are 1st and 2nd in F3. That's insane. Where's this turnaround come from? Neither of them were that close. I mean, Happy Pulling especially, but Barnard wasn't too far off last year. But absolutely out of nowhere, he should be in F2 next year. And frankly, we probably ought to hopefully try and get Happy Pulling in F2 next year. Please tell me Antonelli has an F1 seat next year because he's 86 rated. It's no wonder he's absolutely destroyed. Actually, Miney's not even 2nd this year. For sure, who he must be 29 now or something. 25. He's not actually that old. I'm getting him mixed up with Van Dorn, I think, aren't I? Carpentier, 66 points. Bogdanovic nowhere near this year for whatever reason. He's had 1 podium, but Carpentier's had 2. Could we get a 1-2 in F3 here? As keep building parts to make sure we don't run out of them. I mean, this is ridiculous, by the way. That Oscar Piastri is 406 of McLaren's 484 points. Daniel Ricciardo is somehow pulling in a worse shift than Sergio Perez is for Red Bull. But anyway, we're apparently good here. 5th and 6th here. I think it might have been 3rd and 4th best at Brazil now I think about it. This was 5th and 6th. But anyway, let's get going. I'm starting to think the track temperature doesn't matter that much. Because I saw the, frankly, cold, for tyre purposes, track, set them off on attack immediately, and they've got their tyres up to temperature before they've even got to the 3rd sector. Or roundabout as they got to the 3rd sector. I think I've been giving that too much thought. But anyway, we'll get them going. They were going to do it again. They were going to not come in again. I think it's essentially the same tracks where they would have come in on a flying lap is where they're going to not come in on an in lap. I think it's effectively any track where your pit box is after the start finish, is before the start finish line. I can't quite tell if that's the case because the start finish line doesn't really exist. It's apparently there, but I think that's not exactly accurate. That's our pit box. That's the start finish line. Oh, it's the other way around here. So the maybe it's the other way around. Now maybe it's any time that your pit box is after the start finish line. It doesn't recognise the fact you're on an in lap. I thought we'd done good laps, and then Sainz went one that was about a second faster. A lot of hindrances. Okay, let's be real here. Oh no, Magnussen is like right behind. Okay, I don't know how safe. Yeah, I don't know how safe I feel. I think it'll be an absolute almighty mess up if we don't get through. Because both Williamses, both Audis, both Mercedes seem to be slower, and actually Albon's just gone slower, so I think I'll leave it. Hamilton gets out. Stroll doesn't. Fascinating mess up from Stroll there. Actually, the Hulkenberg is a bit of a surprise there, because they've been better of late. I mean, it's arguably more annoying having the bug this way around now I think about it, because obviously it just eliminates your drivers from the entire darn competition if you miss it, whereas last time they just don't set a time. And it's easier to forget, I think, as well, crucially. What's actually incredible is we've got to the 1.9 patch and this bug is still here. Of all the bugs to have not fixed, how is the engine bug? It's fine. By the time we get to the race, it'll be fine. But I just remember not to go into this camera view. It's actually even colder now. How is this still a bug? How is this still here? It's quite funny. I'm not going to lie, as bugs go, it's quite funny. It sounds like the engine's on helium. The curb vibrations are still there, though. By the way, I always like the little detail of the fact that all the screens around the outside are showing whatever you're showing. So because I'm on the Mick view, all the screens are showing the Mick view. Except for Nevada Hotel, which just says F1 Manager. Also, while I'm on Mick, I want to see if you've noticed this as well, but I swear to God, at the beginning of every single race in the VT where Crofty talks over it, at the very, very beginning where it shows you the grid and the start with the pole position, all that jazz, there's usually a random driver stood at the front having an interview. Mick's always walking down the side of the track. Every single, doesn't matter who's on pole, who's walking down, who's having the interview. Mick's always the one walking down the side. Mick goes 6th. Maloney doesn't improve, surprisingly. And he's out. I was looking at Mick because I thought he was least likely to get through. That curse is stuck, apparently. Vesti nearly got through. Yeah, Gasly, the one to sneak in, though. I mean, the engines will be fine here again, but interestingly, Charles Leclerc and Drogovic, I think, are on flying laps right now. Yeah, everyone's on a flying lap. So these two behind are on a flying lap, and Mick's done a better first sector than both of them. So I don't know how his lap stands up, but it's 5th as things go. Actually, to be fair, it is quite a tame top 10. Gasly, Drogovic, I'd feel fairly confident of being ahead of, regardless. And unless the Ferraris have brought something, the Ferraris haven't been particularly on the pace of late, and Piastri seems to be broken. There's a lot of things going in Mick's favour right now if he can link a lap up. Oh, an irritating number of people are going now. But I'm going to have to send Mick out now, because I don't want him to get caught by the Ferrari. Which he won't do now, but it's just a little weird that everybody went a bit early. I think I pushed him a smidge early, but we should be alright. Yeah, we're going to get across the line with a lap to spare. The McLaren and Gasly behind, Piastri, I suppose it has to be, Piastri and Gasly behind are basically the only two that are going to take a checker flag, I think, when they actually complete their lap. And actually, no, even Piastri's across with a minute 34. Gasly will be the first one to actually take the checker flag when he completes his lap. Everyone else is going to have to go all the way around again before this session ends. Everyone went really early. Anyways, Leclerc crossed the line now. Actually, I don't think the engine noise is back. An engine noise is back, but it's not ours. There's two drivers on top of each other right now, which are Tsunoda and one of the Aston Martins. It was Drogovic. So Drogovic isn't going to improve. And now there's three drivers not really on top of each other, but they could have slipstreamed each other. It's Sainz, who's already on provisional pole, followed by Verstappen, it has to be, and then Bottas. So Sainz, does he improve his pole time? No. Verstappen improves his time to 4th. Bottas improves his time to 5th, mixed down to 7th temporarily. Pourchaire across the line ahead of. Pourchaire goes 2nd. Blimey. Mixed turn now. I wasn't really looking at his sector times. He only goes 7th. It's very tight. And actually, I'm going to have to remember to take him off everything here because he won't actually go in the pits. Piastri and Gasly didn't improve, and I was right. Gasly was the only one to take a checkered flag. Everyone else has to come back into the pits before they get that luxury. Such a 1/10 between 3rd and 7th is wild. There's the sphere. So what's the strategy here then? Aggressive 2-stop for everyone involved. Why would you do it this way? Sorry, Zane. I'm going to fix this for you. Don't worry. Oh, no, this is strategy. We're all right. Okay, number one, if you're going to do it that way, apparently it's exactly the same, which makes no sense whatsoever. 2-stop is faster though. So 24 is the time to beat, effectively. No matter what, come in early there. So whilst this strategy is apparently good, it isn't. I mean, obviously, if I just set this up with the right positions, it's 5 seconds faster than soft, medium, medium. I'm not going to believe them on that one, if I'm completely honest. Right, so we'll give some space to attack those tyres at the beginning. In fact, actually, I might even see if I can get this up as a 4. Actually, they're the laps to come in on. We can come off the tyre push if we wanted to. Can't take a lot of fuel out in Vegas, so we'll have to be wary of that.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. And Alex Albon will know just what kind of drive will be expected of him here.
Starting this one from 21st place puts them at such a disadvantage. They're bound to find this a difficult race.
Right, let's get to it then. The atmosphere is electric here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Of course, when I actually highlight Mick Schumacher's tendency to walk down the pit lane is the first time he doesn't do it. I think he was still there. He was just stationary, standing facing inwards for some reason. Trying to highlight him. And I believe Maloney's gone backwards because he did qualify 12th. Good work, Maloney. I think there were people who took penalties, but they were... I think Hamilton took a penalty because I think he got through. And Stroll didn't he? And Stroll was up in 15th there. Piastri's now Mick, but he's fighting him. I think they changed something recently in regards to colours and team colours not being representative and all that jazz. I think it's messed with our badge because it's completely different colour to everything else. So if you've noticed that, yeah, that'll be why. I've only just noticed it now in qualifying, so it's too late to do anything. Piastri actually completes the overtake. As Maloney does get Magnussen back, I didn't see that one, but it has happened. Anyone in this top... Actually, a lot of people on mediums to begin with. Piastri wasn't one of them, though. Perhaps we ought to let Piastri make it moves here, Mick, because it is Piastri, even though apparently he is damaged. There is going to be a situation regarding Zane Maloney and potentially a worn ERS in the last race or two. I don't think it's worth dealing with. And because we're not anywhere near the cost cap, I haven't bothered refunding myself in the cost cap. I don't even bother to refund myself the actual money. But I think the way I was going to go for is we actually now pay for them. We just don't put it in the cost cap. As Fittipaldi goes wayward. Mick Schumacher, you are trying to overtake Piastri. It's not going to go well. Let Piastri take the people in front of you first. Or don't. As Maloney takes Drogovic, he's now to 10th. He's got Vesti as well. As I think Magnussen got Drogovic behind. I guess that's just DRS. I wanted that replay. Now you're attacking medium tyre drivers, Mick. Maybe you'll be able to do this a bit better. I realise you're still actually deploying on lap 3 here. That's probably not sensible. Oh no, that was the beginning of lap 3. I did wonder how they managed to... Thank you, Hugh. We watch this one all the way again. From the angle which shows us the least amount of useful information. There's Max. Hello, Max. Bye, Max. On his medium tyres. It is indeed 5th place. I do believe you actually have to recover fuel quite early because it doesn't happen otherwise. Mick really lost ground there for a second, but he did get into Tsunoda's DRS. Not only gets Porsche for 8th now. What's happened to... Oh, is it Gasly that slipped through? Luddy's now on Piastri. We'll see what the situation is by lap 10 fuel-wise, because obviously went down to minus 4.4. Mick's fighting Bottas, actually. Piastri's actually now up to 5th. It's all change here. Now, if I remember rightly, this inside line can be really strangely fortuitous, if you get it right. But Mick's made it work around the outside of Bottas there, and will be in Leclerc's DRS, who is on soft tyres, admittedly. Sainz is not, though. Actually, Sainz is on... Actually, the medium runners are going for it, seemingly. Right, so we got Mick back on pace, really. I think I'm going to need to take Maloney off. Allow Mick to go aggressive. And that actually sends him backwards, because of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it do the thing that we wanted it to do? I mean, I'm not really showing you much of this, because it's a lot of just backwards and forwards. Maloney's actually got through Bottas. That one I probably should have paid attention to. This is one train from Sonoda in the lead to Verstappen in ninth. I know it's a long DRS rate, and they actually have shortened it, which may not be reflected in the game. I know they've shortened it in real life. Sainz takes over. Mick is in position to have a sniff, but not much more. Might actually bring Mick off that push now. Lap 10, we've not really gained fuel back, have we? So we're going to have to be aggressive on that, I think. Yeah, considering we want to make lap 14 or whatever it is, it's probably best we start being a little bit more sensible. Maybe just come on fuel conserve a smidge as we do get to pit entry lap. Oh, we'll pit you next lap, Zane, just because Mick's a little bit stuck. He has to come in this lap. So soft runner Mick now is obviously having a problem because he's destroyed them. A lot of people holding on to their tyres, it seems like. Piastri's issue does get worse before it gets better. Okay, Leclerc had an issue and still comes out ahead of Mick. Did Mick have an issue as well? And I just didn't notice that. Mick had an issue because Maloney's come out ahead of him. And now there's a red flag for Drogovic. I mean, that's not irritating at all. We've literally just pitted. Our undercut strategy has completely undone there.
Oh, that'll be a costly crash.
Yeah, Felipe, turn the wheel, mate. Yeah, so we've got it all to do from here. Honestly, keep on the strategy we're already on. Don't change the tyres. I've got to stay on the strategy we're already on. I do wonder if some people might do one hard to the end from here. Leader's on a hard tyre.
Lights out, and away we go.
Well, that's got our fuel back anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. So, surprisingly few people are actually going for that strategy. Well, that's kind of ruined our strategy, so I'm not going to focus too much on our fight back through here. Maloney 10th, Mick 12th right now. Maloney gets another driver. Out of battery, that's probably something to pay attention to. Fuel's now done. Mick takes Hulkenberg and Mick takes Porsche. He's on a hard tyre as well. If we get anything out of this race now, it's going to be a miracle. The only way this works is we get a safety car on the lap that we want to pit. I mean, I say that, actually, Maloney, what are you doing, Sunshine? That one caught me off guard. I didn't realise you made that much progress. Mick's still stuck in 10th behind Vesti. Okay, don't give me the replay from Maloney overtaking Piastri then, sure. I mean, Piastri's going to fight you back, I think, surely. Yeah, he does. But in the process of doing... Although, actually, Piastri's falling through. I think his engine might be done. That must be what his fault is. Stroll has a fault as well, which has kept him back. Overtaking Bottas in DRS is cutting the gap to the front five. We are getting close again. And Mick's now on the back of this as well, with Vesti the only sandwich in between. I do wonder if Gasly and Vesti might try and go to the end. So we are slowly cutting the gap to the front leaders. Now under 4 seconds. It depends on whether or not you get a clean overtake or not. And it seems like we haven't had one in the last couple of laps. Oh, hang on. Is this optimal lap? Oh, no. We keep pushing Zane's tyres as long as they possibly function. The lap in which they go under 40% is the lap we bring them in on. It's just a yellow flag and it's Ricciardo again. Yeah, Piastri's down in 14th now. In fact, that's him in front. Not really much of a yellow flag, is it? 13th. Is it? No, it is 14th for Piastri. Leclerc's still only 13th. There's points on offer here for the only pointless team is on verge for a point, as Magnussen actually pits off softs. I think we bring Zane in this lap, go all out attack on this lap, just go normal medium for a bit. Who did fastest lap there? Magnussen, because of course he did. Can't stop collecting fastest laps, can Magnussen? Actually got the fuel back. Push it for a little bit, Zane. Let's go for it. Get past Piastri, please. Thank you very much. DRS open. Bye. Mick gets Vesti, who he's fighting with for some reason. There's another couple of laps for Mick. Oh, actually, no, this is optimal lap, apparently. I think because a lot of people around him have pitted, I'm now going to come off with Mick. I don't want him to get undercut too much because, you know, Zane's undercut him massively there. Everyone's got onto hards, which is weird at the end. So Mick should get Bottas quite quickly because of the tyre differential. Hopefully he drives away from it. We've pitted, and now there's a virtual safety car. Could have held out with Mick. Could have held out. Could have held out with Zane. What have you done there, Daniel?
I crashed.
On purpose, by the looks of things, Daniel. Oh, if people don't capitalise on this. Yeah, Vesti pits. 8 seconds ahead of Mick. Mind you, this is with the VSC, so it's only probably about 4. Oh, I forgot about the fuel situation. Well, that helps. Yeah, Gasly, have you crashed into Max Verstappen? Ah, no. Max Verstappen's crashed and you've hit him. I mean, that's a lot of swear words, Pierre. One word of that was not starred out. I mean, you may not have seen it behind my face. But just gonna... No, this lap, obviously. I mean, you can do a soft from here. Ah, Mick. Why does Mick not have a soft spare? Just realised why Mick didn't have a spare one, because he actually got to Q3 and Zane didn't. That's why. That's why he's got another soft. Stay on this then, Mick. 91% is good enough. Where are you, Maloney? You're on 85% mediums. I think a lot of people will pit now, though. Where's the leader? They're not far ahead. They've just come in for hards. I don't know what's better. I'm just working on the assumption that a medium would be somewhere between these two, staying on the one that we're already on. How can that be 37 seconds faster? That makes no sense. What? Oh, because it doesn't know we're... It's faster anyway to stay on the medium we're already on. People will pit now, though. So he gets Maloney into third, Mick into seventh. Resty is fourth currently. Magnussen's fifth. Williams could get points here. Vegas always does a crazy. So I presume they'll let Stroll get caught up and they'll go round one more time and now we'll come back in. So I am curious. From this point onwards, it's hard to tell, isn't it? I think 4 is still probably the play with Mick overall. And he has less tyres to begin with, but he's better on them. So I think realistically, we're probably looking at a 4 push for both drivers long term here. Obviously, post-safety car will do a lap on a full attack, but Maloney's back in this because of the safety car. Oh, Vesty under the VSC went on a soft. That was smart from them. Leclerc went on a medium, curiously, so Leclerc's in play. Most people are on freshish tyres, though, so even though they're on hards, they might not be that slow. And away we go once again. I should really look at Maloney, who has obviously just got himself into third there. I mean, post-red flag, that's not bad. So we do a lap on full 5, and then we'll take it down to 4. No moves made by anyone in our fight. None of them made this move, though. Because I wonder if they've dealt with this weird dive bomb situation. Not really. Now, the issue here is Porsche has new mediums as well for Mick, so he can't quite get through. Although, Sonoda... we are third already. Just turn, drivers. Just turn. Can't you see there's a wall there? It's not like they've slid into it or clipped the inside. They've just driven straight on a left-hand corner. Well, now with a free pit stop and like an extra lap, I don't know if it's... We've still got another set of mediums for Mick. I don't know if it's better to go on his softs or go full out on those mediums. Whereas you obviously go on your fresh softs now. Vegas is wild, man. Can't fail the objectives, though.
The track is ready, and so are the drivers. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oh, actually knows that we want to go full deploy. I think there's a couple of other people who have been running our softs here, because it looks like Porsche's still on mediums. Leclerc's the other one. I think Porsche is actually on the mediums he went onto under the safety car. Whereas a lot of people are now using their remaining softs, which has now ruined Maloney's chances of winning this because Sainz is just going to disappear. Sonoda being on worse tyres is going to help. But we can actually full 5 this with both drivers. I think he would have been okay with used softs, Mick, but yeah, Sonoda's already gone. So in a couple of laps' time, Max is still in 6th. I didn't think Sainz would just drive away, but Maloney's kept firm here. And it is Magnussen first for Mick here. Porsche was already ahead by the time the red flag came out. Our car should be better than Magnussen. I actually feel sorry for the Williams here. They might just get conned out of a point because of their safety car and red flag situation. Because I think they were in an okay position as it was, but now we've started again and everyone's on a soft tyre, they might lose out. But I should have a look at Zane because he's actually in first. He's done that without DRS, I now realise. So there's 2 seconds off. Kind of wonder if I should actually not use ERS here. On the inside. Nice. 2 of the few remaining medium running drivers. I'm going to save some ERS because he's not obviously running away from Sainz. That'll be the only reason to do so. Porsche gets Mick. Oh, Mick, what are you doing, mate? Go forwards, not backwards. It's final lap. We have DRS on Carlos Sainz. I did say that might be it for race wins. Carlos actually might lose out to Sonoda if he's not careful. Right place, right time for DRS purposes. I don't know how we all did on tyres in the end. Oh, he actually obliterated his as well. Out of nowhere, we rolled the dice. It looked like we were down, but it's a miraculous comeback. House doesn't always win. Magnussen remained 8th in the end. He was still only 3 seconds off the lead because of everything that went on. He only lost 1 place to Bottas. It's 8 basically. DRS kept Magnussen in the points there. Can't see podiums as long as they're only Zane Maloney. He started 12th. Events. Yeah, that's a few of them, wasn't there? I thought you could see a lap by lap. I thought you could see a lap by lap graph at some point, but we have the first red flag, 16th for Mick, and 14th. So we may have started 12th. He was actually 14th after the first red flag, so it's an even better drive than that looks like. Frederick Vesti got the fastest lap with a 1:37.7. Alpine chipping him a few points, which might actually annoy Williams. Oh, they finally get points, and Vesti and Alpine outscore them. Does that mean Lewis Hamilton is one of 2 remaining pointless drivers, though? Drogovic is the last one with a point. But Vesti getting 11 points takes him 14th. He had 2 before that. No change in the top 9. In fact, Teo Porsche dumps Daniel Ricciardo out of the top 10, which is insane for the car that is evidently the fastest. And because McLaren get no points because Piastri vanished, what does that do for the... Hang on, what does that do for the drivers? It's only 50 points. Still 2 races to go. It's basically done. I think, like, basically the situation is mathematically possible. Realistically, not. It does take us ahead of McLaren, which I don't want because it means our objectives next year we win the damn thing. Has to take Aston Martin for 6th, though. And yeah, Williams no longer pointless, but Alpine get 15 or 11 points to take them to 15. Mercedes, if Alpine score again, are in danger of being 10th. Decent pit stops. Mick gets 4th and money. Crazy race. Design centre shut down for 7 days. Oh, it says design and research there, but design projects here. That might actually ruin our plans for research. Research gets done on day of Abu Dhabi now. It was day of Qatar, I think, before. Or was that actually where it was before? And now it might be a week later. 33 days. If you can cut that down, might still be able to get it in 20. I don't know, actually. I think that might ruin everything. I think that might ruin research for next year. That one design centre fire at that point of the season. Thanks for that. We won't let that sour what was a good episode. Thank you for joining me for this one today. If you have enjoyed it, do like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Surely by now. Until next time. Ta-ra.